Hi guys, welcome to another TPI demo. So I've just gone through and applied all of these TPIs. I've cleaned up the script a little bit. But the main thing is, this is kind of the state of the TPI now. If you want to see it in all its glory. Maybe we don't actually need this very coarse version. But you see how this very coarse version actually fills in this lake with blue. It's like this lake is a hole. If we're not viewing any of the background DSM, we can see that this is much more as like highlighting in red, and the darker the red, the more of a peak it is. It's still nice with this background. I have just a normal DEM, so this is the DEM on its own. You can see I have it colored from blue, green to red, kind of natural. Red is your hot spots or your high point. And this is the DSM. So all of these. So this one is just the. So this is just a normal DSM with the 3.8 filter, and this actually takes the longest to run. This takes like over a minute to run, just this one computation, and then this one and this one and this one take like only seconds. So theoretically we don't even need this little level of detail, but the most detailed version is kind of nice. When you zoom in, you can see here's the most detailed version, turning it on and off. And here is the least detailed version, turning it on and off. So maybe you could leave out the least detailed and leave out the most detailed. We would get an end result something like this. So this is a downsample of 4. You can see I'm looking on the side. So this is test 2 DEM, downsampled 4 times, so 4x downsample. And I run TPI with the SAGA using 382 parameters, and that's how I get this result. So I've done that so this is only that one result, and then I do that also for another downsample. So I downsample it again and then run the same thing again, and I get this, and I downsample it a third time and get this, and you can see how it's doing the computation at multiple levels. And then by overlaying, and actually, I don't know, maybe we should deliver it like this, but I need to figure out how to nicely merge so you can see this is even the one level above. But you can see this is seeing the actual features. You can see it's actually seeing this is a high point in this whole thing, this and this. And there's the high points. So if you were only looking at this, not the raster, this would be probably pretty good. You can see that this is the high point. Anyway, I think this middle level. So basically this is 4 times 4 is 16. 16 times 4 is whatever, 64. So this is running downsampled to 64 meter pixels, and then it's running on that again, the 3.8, which I'm not I really want to know whether this 3 and this 8 is the size of the window, which would make the most sense, or if it's actual size in meters, which means this downsampling might not be taking full effect. Anyway, ramble. Sorry if I've had the image out of the pane this whole time, but this is kind of the result of my experiment. So we have the base DEM. You can see, okay, maybe we're looking at this area and we're trying to find somewhere that overlooks it. So let's look at this area. And then we would turn on all of these, and you can kind of see that this is a pretty high outlook spot over something here. So maybe it depends if this sees over this. That's where you have to look back at the DM. Ooh, what's very handy for these sorts of things is we got them topo. So I guess it picked a red color. and it's in the background, but you can see there's actually the topo lines. So this is kind of the result that I'm imagining. I'm imagining also we could not even do this one, and just do, but like this high resolution stuff kind of is useful. Like if I was an analyst trying to find the mountain locations, I would turn this one on first, and I'd be like, okay, and then I'd also look at the top of the line. But really, I'd look at the DM, and then I'd be like looking here, and then we can turn this one off and maybe finer detail. But the other nice thing is that like hotspots kind of stack, so you can see it stacked here. Really I should put this topo up at the top of the group. Anyway, that's about it for this demo video. Yeah. It's like, is this a satisfactory result? I don't know. In my other project that crashed, I set this to whatchamacall, the regular topo with the hill shading, regular with the thing. It's definitely like making the mountains red, like it makes this red. Anyway, and then if we go, let's try the same experiment at a kind of more zoomed in level. So we're looking at this one hill and this one valley. And if we do on like, I think it's highlighting this stuff a little bit better. I think it's pretty good. I don't know. So then if we find one like version of this group, so see how I'm just grouping them and like overlaying them, and then in the style. Okay, that's the last thing I'll show you. As you can see here, this is a style that I've saved for these. So I'm using transparent for 0, blue for small styles. Like so if you look at this color, it's actually 50% opacity, pure blue, or close-ish to it. And then this one's like 25% in 0 and 25% and 50%. And this lets them stack nicely. But then I don't know how to take all of these 3-4 layers. So this one, like if we were doing the half resolution version, we don't really need the super high detail. Like I think the super high detail, just look at the topo lines. You can see this. Does it help? It just makes it noisy, but it does add detail. So this is the lowest level. But yeah, and so you can see since it's half transparent, it all blends. Anyway, okay. And this one just makes it look blocky, but other than that, it's quite nice when you're zoomed out. Like I'd offer this as like a standalone layer, so when you're looking at like the whole like area, you'll be able to see like the red spots. So if we had all of these off, and you had only this layer, you can see how you see the hotspot. Or that one, but this one. So even if you didn't have the DSM underneath, you're like, okay, so these are some possible site locations. If you're just like looking around the town, you'll be like, okay, maybe up on this hill or on this hill. And then you zoom in and turn on the next level, the next level. So really, like, you can go down this level. So like, it's almost a scale dependent feature. Like, I'm thinking, like, if we can somehow map the zoom level to our thing. So like, when we're this far zoomed in, we actually don't need to see this anymore. We want to see this. And then when we zoom out like this, okay, it's starting to be too far. We actually want to see this. But actually, like, it's almost like you want the 2 layers of detail. So if you zoom in, it turns off this, turns on this. And you zoom in more and more. Maybe it leaves these bottom 2 on. I guess I could turn on this high resolution one too, and turn off this. But you can see when we're zoomed out, it's like pretty noisy. But when we're zoomed out, if we had these 2, it's pretty nice. Or even these 3. Like here, I would want these 2. Here, I would probably toggle that one off and toggle this one on. So, and on the matter of computation time, yeah, I estimate on like a good computer for one of these tiles. So this is one grid tile. I guess I'll also show this stuff. We have all of the projects and tiles. So you can see one tile out of all of this LiDAR. So it would take maybe 5 minutes more to process each one if we do it this way. Actually, no, I think this level 1 hillshade takes like 8 minutes. So it would take 5 minutes plus another 8 minutes for the like high resolution detailed version. So if we ditch that high resolution version, which is only adding this detail, and it also took like 1 minute for the fucking, yeah, sorry. Topo lines, like these lines actually take a little while to, where so many layers. These lines, you can see it's taking a while to render, but if we zoom in. So this is 5 meter topo lines. Which, like, I'm glad I figured out how to do that. It's pretty cool. As far as like, this is nice addition. Like, maybe the 3 level is pretty good. Like, honestly, only this product is kind of like what I'd want. I'd want this, and then I'd put this on. Okay, it's turning into a longer video. So how do you adjust rendering? You go to rendering, scale dependent, and you zoom in until you want it, but I'll just go 50,000. Apply, okay. So now you can see when I'm way zoomed out, it's not doing it. When I zoom in, it's gonna start doing it. But you can see how flat it is by these topo lines. It's just spaghetti. So yeah, I'll end this video here because I'm just rambling and playing around. I guess I'll quickly show you the script. So you can see, these are all the files. You have my fancy naming convention. You can see D4, so these are all the downsamples. This TPI -- is for the SAGA TPI. The other TPI that I've been testing is this, that's older version. This D4 TPI, so then I ran the GDAL TPI, and then N1 stands for normalize 1 sigma. So it just normalizes this output of the GDAL TPI. And this TPI calculation is definitely like 10 times faster than the SAGA one. But I think the SAGA one's doing 10 things, that's why it's a little bit slower. And only really it's noticeable for like the full tile. But you can say 10 times speed up, 10 times speed up, I don't know. So this is the SAGA command. You want to do SAGA TA morphology tool 28, and you give it the input file, the output file, the min max. I believe these are in meters, which is kind of weird. So maybe we need to do something smarter, but I want to confirm, like if anyone knows, let me know if these are in meters or if they're in frickin' window pixels. I can't find the docs on that. Some people say both. If you use 1 meter DEM, then it's 1 meter. Yeah. Anyway. So that's the script. And then this is the meat. It's the, I guess you can't see it. I'll move my window down. So you can pause the video here probably. This is the SAGA script. 3, 2, 1 if you want to copy that. And then this is the real meat. So you can see at the top I have this normalized function. I'll just minimize that. All it does is do the meat calculation here is input raster, A minus mean. The other thing to note about the script is that we have to run this GDAL info stats. Before we run this, then this JSON doesn't actually know about the stats. So it's kind of a two-step process for getting the mean and median from a thing in a script, but it's a good one. And now we have our main command, which takes in 1 DEM and a number of iterations and a downsample factor. So for example, if we want to downsample by 4 times, that would be 4, 4. And then we got this. It's going to do all its shit. And we set the current DEM to our DEM input. And for each iteration, we run downsample. Here we get the output is the current DEM. Whenever we add this D whatever, so downsample factor, we'll add the D whatever to the file name. And we GDAL warp it. So this resamples with a new height and new width in the bilinear way, because I think that's what we're supposed to do for DEMs. And now we have our downsample DEM. So downsample image created, and otherwise there's error. Cool. And then if we do have this downsampled image, we normalize it after we run GDAL TPI. And we can, like in the script, we might want to modify this to do the SAGA TPI. I need to write a function for that, but I'll get around to that later. For now, I just run the script and then run my SAGA TPI script on each of the outputs that I want to run SAGA TPI on, because SAGA TPI takes so long sometimes. But this TPI is fast. The difference is this TPI only takes consideration of like a 1 pixel area. So we can compare them actually. That's the other thing I wanted to do in the video. Thank you, me, for reminding myself. So you can see here we have T2T. So this is a 3331. So I would compare this one to this scale. So like because we've downsampled 4 times and then another 4 times, and when we run the SAGA TPI, and I'm comparing this to downsampling 1, 2, 3 times and then running the GDAL TPI, and you can see it's detecting the same scale of features. The other version is just a little bit more I don't know, smooth, but you can see it's detecting the same level of features, because that's what that 3 and 8, it means it's taking like a larger window into the calculation. So it's detecting hills that are of larger magnitude. But I'll quickly show you, what if I group all of these? I'm gonna group select it. I'll call this group 2. And so yeah, I'll just turn them all on. So this is TPI 444, 4 and 4444. Maybe let's turn this one off. But you can compare this to this one. So this is using GDAL TPI. And I'm not even doing the most detailed version. And then let's do those two as like a comparison. And we'll compare it to this. So we have with SAGA and without SAGA, or something like that. This is the extra detailed version that's like you could do like with or without SAGA, with GDAL only, and with SAGA is like getting more depth. We also have multiple things on. And if we turn on, yeah, no, that's pretty much everything we want on. Good. Turn everything on. If we turn the pixelated one, then you can see that it's just doing it at the same level. So this is with SAGA with everything on, and this is without SAGA with everything on. We could, of course, like correct the colors to be the same, but you can see the level of detail is about the same. But it is nicely getting like this big hill here and these big hills. Like without SAGA, I would almost do one more level of resolution, like one more downsample 5 times. And then I would capture that same detail. So, in this do zoomed in version, without this super big ass one. So this is with SAGA, and this is with just GDAL without SAGA. GDAL, GDAL, SAGA, SAGA. Just a normal DEM. The normal DEM with SAGA overlay. And with GDAL overlay. And with the like super fine green control. Anyway, this 4.4, so this 4.4.4 one is actually good. And do I have the 3.4 one? This one's probably like, I guess 3 4s plus 2 4s plus 1 4. Anyway, I'll end this video here, just with some boring code. Anything else that I should include in this long rambly video? I guess not. The last thing I'm working on is this scratch. So this is how you have to merge the rasters. So I'm working on this pixel function. So the idea is you put this function inside the virtual raster. So you have to go GDAL build vert, resolution highest, R by linear, whatever. This vert file is my virtual raster. And then you can see how this is a glob. So I'm globbing all my test EMs, and I want the TPI whatever ones. And I want to make a virtual raster. And what this does is it makes a raster that has like is linked to all these other rasters. And then inside that virtual raster, you can actually declare this pixel function. So I want to make a way of, in my script, automatically injecting a pixel function. And then it should be able to just call GDAL translate the virtual raster enable Python to a raster. And this should give us output. But this is not working right now. And I'm not sure if I'm inserting it properly and all that. Anyway, but that is maybe where the automation pipeline goes if you're trying to get all this stuff to run automatically. Which I guess we will at some point if we have to do 1 million of these. Anyway, Hopefully you enjoyed the video. This is Mango signing off. You have a wonderful rest of your day. Bye bye. Apply filter. Read me. What's in the read me? Okay, there's like, so this is what a filter looks like. You can see this would be a peak, and if you inverted, there's all ones around and 0 in the middle, that would be a hole. And you really want to worry about it. So. And then check out part 1 of this video, which is probably a little bit shorter. Eventually this stuff will be on GitHub somewhere, maybe not. Anyway, peace out. You have a good day.